Hi, I'm David Livermore, and I'm here in the South Bank in London in order to launch AccessAble London. We've literally surveyed thousands of venues in order to understand just how people might access the places we all want to go and visit. I encourage you all, go and look at accessable.co.uk or download the app, AccessAble.
For the first 2 years of our life, we went up and down the country to listen to disabled people. Why aren't we more visible? Why aren't we shopping more? Why aren't we in employment more? Why aren't we down the pub more? And what came back from that exercise was two key findings. One, society was generally inaccessible. But two, in a generally inaccessible society, there could be venues that are accessible to my own individual needs or your own individual needs if only we knew about them. How can disabled people sustain friendships if we don't know whether the local pub or the local restaurant that our friendship group is meeting at is accessible? How can disabled people get into employment if we don't know whether we can get off at the local train station where the job interview is being held? Needing to know in advance can take up so much time, and not knowing when you get there is such a debilitating strain, and we shouldn't ask disabled people to go through a personal resilience test every time we want to go somewhere new. We've worked with over 1,000 groups of disabled people to define and refine a methodology to capture the information that disabled people themselves have said that they needed. It was pithily put by one of our users: if we don't know, we don't go. We say no more, go more. Businesses and services must communicate their access in the same way as they communicate their opening times and their store location. It's not difficult and it's not costly.
I am very proud of the modest role that I played in the early days in being able to put some resource into what has now become a phenomenal organisation. But actually, what do we try and do in public service? We try and make a difference, and I hope I made a modest role in the difference that clearly AccessAble has been able to play. So I wanted to be here to congratulate all the people who've been involved in making AccessAble the success that it is, and to advocate the benefits that can accrue to the whole population.
We're committed to ensure that South Bank is seen as one of London's most accessible destinations, and it's why, as a bid, we collaborate with South Bank venues and obviously with AccessAble to ensure that as many attractions, venues, hotels, restaurants are equipped with the most up-to-date information on accessibility, providing world-class detailed access guides, and enable our venues and operators to be upfront and clear about the varying levels of accessibility on the South Bank, helping visitors and residents to find the places that best suits their accessibility needs.
What it's done specifically for me is effectively make some of our commercial buildings more attractive for tenants. Because if you've actually got accessibility guides rather than just a list of compliance, you actually understand what it means to have a compliant building, to actually make your compliance into something that can have a positive effect for everybody that involves in that building.
As a wheelchair user and someone who's been disabled for 10 years now, I've used a number of different apps and a number of different services that have sort of propagated the market, but this feels like the definitive app. It finally feels like we're getting a comprehensive body of data that is both easy to access and functional. With the right support from both local authorities around the country, businesses, and also end users like myself, I think we'll probably see AccessAble being used not just by disabled people. I think it will become a definitive tool for everyone.